Okay, so in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you guys how to change your MAC address back to its original MAC address, or if you want to change it to any other MAC address, if that's what you want to do. So the first thing we're going to want to do for the people that want to change it back to its original MAC address is figure out our original MAC address. Now, if you know your original MAC address, then that's even easier. You don't got to figure it out. Or if you know whatever you want to change it to, then that's even easier. But if you don't know and you want to figure out your original MAC address, you could look on your motherboard and there's a sticker which will have your original MAC address. So let me go ahead and just open this real quick for you guys. All right. So on most modern ASUS motherboards, if you look on the 24-pin power connector right here, there's a sticker on the side of it, and it'll have your MAC address right there. This tutorial will work on ASUS motherboards or any motherboard with an Intel NIC, network interference card, or Ethernet port. This thing right here. If you don't know what a NIC is, your LAN port. So, anyways, your sticker will either be on the side of the 24-pin power connector, like that, or it'll be on your actual LAN port, your Ethernet port right here, and it'll look like something like that. So once you have your original MAC address, go ahead and write it down. Take a picture of the cell phone, whatever is easier for you. And now you can proceed. Okay. So the first thing we're going to want to do is in the description in this YouTube video or in the ASUS ROG forums. There's a link to a folder which you should download. And once you click on the link, you'll be brought up to this page right here. I'll go ahead and download this. Okay, so once you download it, go ahead and go to your download folder. Okay, so you'll have a folder called Change Mac. It's a zip file. Go ahead and extract that file. I use a 7-zip. You can use any extraction tool that you use. All right. Now, when you extract that folder, you open it up, and there's going to be 3 folders in here called Tools, Copy All Files to USB, and Copy Correct File to USB. All right. So now that we have it downloaded, the folder downloaded, let's go ahead and plug in our USB drive that we want to use. All right, so plug that USB drive into your PC. All right, now once you have that USB drive plugged in, you're going to want to open this folder called Tools. And in this Tools folder, there's a program called Rufus. Just go ahead and run it. All right, so once you run it, it'll say, do you want to allow Rufus to check for application updates online? Just select no. All right, so this will come up right here. Okay, now once this comes up from this drop down bar right here, go ahead and select the USB drive that you plugged into your PC, the one that you want to use. And from this drop down right here, make sure you select MBR partition scheme for BIOS or UEFI. Okay. And then on file system, just select default, cluster size default, new volume label, whatever it gives you, doesn't matter. Where it says check device for bad blocks, you could uncheck that. You don't need that check. Quick format, make sure this is checked. Where it says create a bootable disk using, you want to drop this bar down and select FreeDOS and make sure that this is selected also. And it says create extended label and icon files. You could go ahead and have that selected also. Okay, so once you have everything looking the way I have on my screen right here, you have the USB drive selected that you're going to use. You could go ahead and select start. Now you'll come out with this warning saying all data on the device will be destroyed. To continue with this operation, click OK. To quit, click cancel. Just click OK. So now it's making your bootable USB drive. Okay. Step 1, making the bootable USB drive. All right. So now that we have our bootable USB drive made, we can close this program. Now we're gonna want to open that USB drive. So go ahead and navigate to it. I just opened mine in a new window right here. And so here it is. This is the USB drive. Okay. And here's the folder we downloaded. Now we're gonna want to go back to this folder. Okay, and where it says copy all files to USB, you're gonna do exactly what it says. We're gonna copy these files to USB. So go ahead and select these files, right click on it, select copy, come to your USB folder, your USB drive, right click in your USB drive folder, and select paste. It'll say the destination already has a file named auto.xcbat. Now you probably didn't see that file here because it's a hidden file. So anyways, don't worry about that. Just select replace the file in destination. And now you'll see the two files here. They'll be copied over here. Now if you refresh this folder, you might see that auto.xc file not there no more. Just don't worry about it. It'll be hidden. So anyways, now that we copied all files to USB, we're gonna want to know what type of Intel NIC we have. Okay, our Ethernet port, our LAN port. So in order to find out which model Intel network interference card we have, let's go back to the tools. And right here, I made a little Windows batch file. Now this works for Windows 10. So this tutorial is basically for Windows 10. So right here on this little batch file where it says view NIC model, just go ahead and click it. And this will come up right here. All right. So this is telling me my Ethernet port, my NIC, network interference card, is an Intel Ethernet connection, and it's telling me it's an I219. So now I know the model. This is what I need right here. I know I have an I219. So now that I know I have an I219, I can go ahead and close this. And this little batch file right here that you run, it also gives you your MAC address. So for this tutorial, I have my MAC address set to 888888888788. And after, when you see that I change it, it'll change to whatever I change it to. So anyways, the main thing we want to know here is model of our Intel NIC. Okay, so let's close that out. Okay, now where it goes copy correct file USB, because we know it's an Intel 219. We're gonna open this folder and we're gonna copy this file over to our USB. All right. Now, if I were to have ran this program, okay, and it says I have an Intel 211 or Intel 218 or Intel 350. So if I had an Intel 211, same thing. I would just copy this file over. If I had an Intel 218, I'll copy that file over. But since I have an Intel 219, go to the 219 folder and I copy that one over. So just copy the correct file, okay? So now we're basically done making our USB stick, okay? We went ahead and we got, let's just go over everything. We went ahead and we got our original MAC address and we wrote it down, took a picture, or we know whatever MAC address we want to change our PC's motherboard to. Okay. We made our bootable USB drive with the Rufus tool. We copied we copied all of these files to the USB. And then we copied the correct file to the USB after figuring out which Intel network interference card we had by running this little batch file, okay? So we copied everything and everything's good to go. We close all this out. Now the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna boot into our BIOS or UEFI, and we're gonna we're gonna enable CSM. Now, if you have CSM disabled, you can go ahead and disable it again after you finish changing your MAC address. But in order to boot from this USB drive to change our MAC address, we have to go ahead and enable it. So it's not really a big deal. And after we enable it, we'll go ahead and boot from our USB drive. Okay, so I'll see you guys in a second. Restarting my PC. All right. So let's continue. Okay. So now we have our USB stick plugged in, and we're gonna boot up from it. Now the first thing we're gonna want to do is we're gonna boot up, and we're gonna go into our BIOS and our UEFI, and we're gonna make sure CSM is enabled. Now, if you want to disable CSM after, you can go ahead and disable it again after. But for changing the MAC address, we need to make sure that it is enabled. Okay, so go ahead and boot up your PC, and go ahead and boot up into your UEFI or BIOS or whatever. I don't know how they pronounce it. Okay, so for my computer, I push delete. Right there, it'll tell you. Okay, so you're in your UEFI screen, and then you're gonna want to go to boot, and then where it says CSM compatibility support module. Okay, see where mine is disabled right now. You're gonna want to make sure it's enabled. Okay, and that's it. So once it's enabled, go ahead and save changes and reset. Now after we save changes and reset, we're gonna boot up into the BIOS again. Okay, so save changes and reset. It says save and reset, save configuration and reset. And it shows you what I changed, and just push OK. This is for an ASUS motherboard. Other motherboards might be different. Okay, so push delete again or whatever it is to get into your BIOS. This time we're going to go back into the boot menu, and we're going to boot off our USB stick. So right here where it says boot override, we're going to want to select like I used the Kingston, right? So it'll have my USB stick twice. Select the USB stick that doesn't have the UEFI in front of it. So I'm gonna select this one. Okay. And once you select that, it'll boot up from the USB. And when you do that, it'll tell you right now, it says you are about to change your MAC address. Press any key to continue. It says please make sure you have the MAC address you want to change your motherboard's MAC address to. So the 12-digit MAC address that you want to change your motherboard's MAC address to, make sure you have it in hand. Okay, press any key to continue. Now it says to change your MAC address, type the following: EE update NIC equals 1. So just copy whatever it says here. Okay, so EE U T D A T E. NIC equals 1. MAC equals. Okay. Now where it says MAC equals, for the X's, which is 12 digits, it says change the X's to your MAC address. So for this example, I'm gonna change my MAC address to 7089 47, 62, 18, 26. I think that's 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. So now, whatever MAC address you put in there, go ahead and push enter. Okay. And it'll bring this stuff up, and it'll say updating the MAC address to whatever it is you entered done. Updating checksum and CRE is done. Okay, and it tells you this information, and now you're done. So now we want to reboot our PC and make sure that our MAC address changed. So to reboot, just push Control-Alt-Delete. And let the PC boot up. Okay. Now we could go back to our oops, not this folder, sorry. Go back to our downloads. Go into the folder that we downloaded. We go in tools. We can run this view NIC model. And now we see our MAC address is whatever it is we changed it to. And that's it. And that's how you permanently change your MAC address on your motherboard. Alright guys,